Fight Theme Forecast. I'm Joseph, the host, back for another show. The full card prediction show for UFC 310 going down in Las Vegas. Title fight on this card. Alexander Pantoja versus Kai Asakura making his debut. And it's a title fight. That's wild. But I'm going to break that fight down along with every other fight on this card. Which every fight we're in store for a very good fight, very competitive fights on this card, and it's bound to be entertaining. UFC Macau, we made some money, it was entertaining, and we lost the lock streak. We lost it. We threw it out the window when we decided to take two women fighters, massive favorites, and Fang and fucking, what's her name? She showed up. She was not shit. I thought she was going to be shit. Well, she showed up and Fang got slept. That was devastating. But the other favorite, Kong Wang, what are you doing, Wang? She got submitted in a fight that, yeah, she definitely should have won. She didn't get it done. And that's unfortunate because I had her as a lock. But at that point, it didn't really matter. I didn't really care. I knew I made a mistake. Now we're going to have to rebuild that lock streak up. I got to 18 locks in a row. Most favorites, couple coin flip fights. But every lock parlay was producing a plus money play consecutive weeks, over 5 weeks in a row. My lock parlay hit. And we got paid huge because that's usually my biggest bet of the night. So I'm doing the video 2 weeks early. It is Tuesday night, ahead of time, nice and early video. So a couple fights might change. A couple fighters might get sick. New fighters might step in. If you want any changes that could be made, $5 a month on Patreon. You get early access to my picks with the confidence levels, method of victory, the round outcome, and then my forecasted percentage versus implied probability. If you listened last week, if you're a subscriber, if not, you should be subscribed now. Hit that link below for Patreon if you want the bets and picks early as well. But if you're a platinum forecaster, you've seen, or if you're listening on YouTube, you heard me say, Choi. I had an 88% confidence level in him to win. I also bet him by knockout. I thought he could get the finish. I knew Sahota wasn't very good, not good at using his range, wasn't very effective. Well, he got knocked out within 2 minutes. The lock of the week, Choi, was a wicked lock of the week. I should have just went with Kavanaugh, Choi, and should have sailed away into the sunset. Could have continued my lock streak with two male fighters that I was 100% confident in to win. So hopefully this week I can find a plus money play. I will give it out for free. But if you want it early, if you want to see the bet, $5 a month. $5 is probably the best price, best value in the industry. I just made platinum forecasters 100 units profit in like 6 events. So that's incredible. We're getting paid. And here's a couple NFL bets. I post these bets for free in my Discord lobby. So you absolutely should be hitting the link in bio below, checking out the NFL lobby, and getting these free bets. I went 2 for 2 on the NFL Sunday player props. I hit a touchdown bet last night with Gus Edwards. We're sniping bets on all sports. It's $5 a month. Price might go up in 2025. I'm putting in a lot of work, a lot of content, a lot of good features on here. We got the line movement tracker. You can see the odds where they open to where they are now. So you can see where the money's coming in, where people are liking certain underdogs, making them the favorite. There's actually a fight that's rescheduled on this card, and he opened as a plus 170 underdog, and it's now a coin flip. So you see that on the line movement tracker. A lot of good features on Patreon. The sport bets are killing it, but you can get the platinum picks early. You can get the forecast forensic cheat sheet, which has my forecasted percentage versus the current odds. So that's basically the platinum picks, all the bets, $5 a month. Let's get right into it. UFC 310. The videos aren't getting many views. The mic isn't working still. I apologize. But I got to do the video a little bit faster than normal. Might not be as technical as some people with their predictions, but let me tell you, we've been consistent. We know what we're talking about. We've done our tape study, our research, and we're just back to prove that we're one of the best in the game. Fight Fiend Forecast has been one of the best predicting fights over the last 10 weeks. My videos are out there to prove it. The views might be low, but we are bound to hit 1,000 subscribers and to get some traction. So, first fight of the night, let's get right into it. This could be the incorrect bout order. This is an early video, so bear with me on fight orders, fight cancellations, stuff like that. First fight, we got a heavyweight fight. Lukasz Brzeski coming in as a plus 400 underdog against Kennedy Nzechukwu. Nzechukwu carries a 5-inch reach advantage in this fight. He's coming off a win a month, 2 months ago to Chris Barnett, where it was easy work round 1. You know, he's very good at range. He's effective with his length and his reach advantage, and he's knocking guys out. He got a submission before as well, where he didn't even need a takedown. So I can see him getting a guillotine choke, a knockout finish in this fight. He's getting back in there against the big underdog, and it tells you enough. Brzeski is probably not that guy to cash in as a dog, although he did to Walter Walker. This is a different type of fighter. Kennedy Nzechukwu is much quicker. He's a lot better with his footwork and his striking. He was a former light heavyweight, moving up to heavyweight. He feels phenomenal. He looks phenomenal at this weight class. I don't see a situation where he gets caught or loses this fight. You got to take the 5-1 favorite, Kennedy Nzechukwu, likely by finish in the first round. I can't wait to see what else he can do in this division. Maybe he can beat a couple higher level guys in this division. But in this fight, it is a no-brainer. Brzeski ain't that guy. He's getting finished, hopefully in the first round. He's the type of guy that the UFC is seeing on the radar that probably should be cut, should have been cut, maybe not even have signed in the first place. But hey, he's getting wins under the column of other fighters that they want to win, so that's good. He's doing his job, losing fights. He's going to lose another. Now this fight, huge underdog. Guida, 42 years old. Now, maybe it's his age, but he's still got it. He still has a good cardio, decent chin. He can get taken down. He can get outstruck. And he's fighting a 25-year-old. Continuing to improve, Chase Hooper. Hooper obviously doesn't have the better record. Doesn't have the most experience compared to Guida. But he's a killer on the ground. And this line is reflective of the fact that they but they grappled in a grappling match before. And if you don't know what happened, I'll let you know. Chase Hooper submitted Guida in round 1. So the odds reflect that fight, that grappling match. And this fight probably turns into a grappling match. Give me Chase Hooper, probably another first round finish. And expect the bout order to change. Because the UFC is going to know they don't want 2 finishes right off the bat. But there might be a finish on each and every fight, on this card. Every fight, there could be a finish. It's a fist fight, anything can happen. But when I do my research, I see a couple finishes on this card. Chase Hooper, though, he's just younger, quicker. I think his striking was improving in his last fight as well, right? His striking wasn't the best. He was young when he first entered the UFC. But I see him training with some high-level guys right now. And Guida, he's just getting on to the end of the career. 42 years old. He's about to hang him up. Might be against this young boy, Chase Hooper. Still 25 years old. Lots of room for improvement. But I've already seen him improve. He just beat Borishev, a much better striker, more dangerous in the pocket, higher chance of a finish. Borishev had against Chase Hooper, so I don't see a way for Guida to get it done here. Chase Hooper will be fine on the feet. He will find a way to get the fight to the ground and get another submission win. He submitted Guida in grappling. Round 1, easy work. I think the line does reflect that. Chase Hooper is a massive favorite in this fight, not going to lie, but he's tall for the division, and he is making improvements each and every fight. In this next fight, are these fighters making improvements? You got to ask yourself that, because you got a 36-year-old, a 38-year-old, two guys that are company guys. They've been around. They've done good business for the company. They've stepped in and fought tough competition, and they've had good win streaks when they were successful. Max Griffin, Michael Chiesa. When I break it down, when I see these two fighters, I think Michael Chiesa has looked better in his wins. He's won them unanimously. Max Griffin has been in some close fights, split decision fights. Hard to say if he was well deserving of his last win or not. And Michael Chiesa made easy work of Tony Ferguson. It was Tony Ferguson, but I look back even farther, and he had success against RDA. Unanimous decision win for Michael Chiesa. He can get the takedowns, control time in this fight, and I think that is what you guys will see win Michael Chiesa the fight. He's going to be the better grappler. He's going to have the better wrestling. Now, I do believe Max Griffin has a good takedown defense, but I do believe it's not good enough. So Michael Chiesa, as a plus 125 underdog, is going to be the first underdog of the night for me. I see him having a very clear path to victory on the ground, and I think he can get the takedowns. He's dominated higher level guys like RDA a couple of years ago as well. Not an old RDA, a prime RDA. So that was pretty impressive. Michael Chiesa also doing some work within the UFC, ESPN. So I do think a close decision will favor him as well. Give me the dog, Michael Chiesa, against Max Payne Griffin, who's about to feel the pain in this fight. He could get robbed, but he could get submitted, finished. He's a tough guy to finish, but Michael Chiesa, he seems to be doing more in his career, looking better each and every fight. Both fighters aren't that active, but I see a little bit more improvement on the Michael Chiesa side. And hey, he's 2 years younger as well. Give me the dog, Michael Chiesa. Flyweight bout, this fight made me think for a while. You got Joshua Van, Cody Durden, two guys that are fast for the flyweight division, two guys that seem durable to an extent. Joshua Van, he got knocked out to Charles Johnson, and Johnson lost a unanimous decision, like clearly lost to Cody Durden. So Cody Durden as a dog is barking, likely, but I'm going with the more crisp striker, the younger fighter, the guy that I think is going to be a little bit, just a tad bit, like a little bit better in the striking department, be more accurate, have better footwork, in and out of range. Takedowns, I don't know. This is going to be close. Coin flip. Cody Durden could have success. I mentioned he is a live dog, but ever so slightly. I got to take Joshua Van to win a decision. I don't think he has the highest finishing capabilities. He doesn't have the finishing upside for sure in this fight, but I think he can just get it done. He's a good striker. He's crisp and clean, and before he did get knocked out, he was about to beat Charles Johnson by a unanimous decision. He wasn't going to lose that fight until he got caught. Can Cody Durden catch him on the feet? I think he's going to be way too aware. He's suffered a loss in the UFC, and I think he will improve and learn from it. If Joshua Van don't win this fight, I'm going to lose some faith in him, for sure. Give me Joshua Van, decision, in a close fight. Respect to both fighters. Cody Durden, 10 years older, more experience. Incredible win in his last fight to Matt Schnell. He got the ninja choke in round 2. So on the ground, Joshua Van has to be very careful of the submission, and he has to be careful not to get knocked out. So it's a low confidence pick. It's not a pick I'm looking to parlay. I'm just taking Joshua Van to win the fight. So there's a difference between some of the picks on the card than other picks on the card. Some picks I have high confidence in. They're probably going to be locks of the week. Other fights on the card, I'm just going to leave off. I'm going to sit back, relax, enjoy, and just be entertained for a fight. I'm not looking to make money and bet parlay each and every fight. I'm a sniper. I'm going to pick my spots, and after Wang and Fang, we're fucking going to be very smart, and we're going to make massive bankroll on this card. Thankfully, very, very thankful, the losses were minimal on Wang and Fang, but it could have been bad. So, a lesson learned for me, a very stupid lesson learned. I could have avoided it. I was aware, but I just risked it for the biscuit. I don't need the biscuits when I've been getting bags, big bags. So let's keep it going. Don't get too focused on losses and having slumps in life. Like, just focus on the future, be positive, keep a positive mindset. Like, you can't get stuck in bad situations and weigh yourself down. Build a ladder, get creative, and get up. Let's go. Skip. Chris Weidman, Eryk Anders. They're back. They're climbing up the ladder, making another go for it. And this is a fight I feel like could be canceled again. Someone could get sick again. Someone, I don't know. It's probably going to be a go, though. Eryk Anders is now sober, and he is taking his career more seriously. Chris Weidman, on the other hand, is a little bit sad on the inside. He didn't get to fight in New York. He's a little pissed off. He's 40 years old. He's slowing down. This fight might not favor him entirely. He knows he's going to be facing a very good boxer, a guy with good forward pressure, and a guy that's durable in Eryk Anders. A guy that will want to win in Eryk Anders. So my pick is staying the same in this fight. If you listened the first time, I'm taking Eryk Anders to win this fight by a decision. Chris Weidman, he is going to rely heavily on eye pokes to win this fight. And the judges and the refs cannot allow that to happen. And they will not. Not 2 times in a row. Weidman will not get away with anything in this fight. Eryk Anders gets it done here. He's sober. He's a sniper. He's a southpaw. And he's 3 years younger. I think he is hungry for a win. Although he just beat Jamie Pickett. He's fighting some pretty low-level guys. Can't give him much credit. But if he manages to beat Chris Weidman as a slight favorite, I'm going to give him some credit. But I'm not looking to bet him in the future. This is just a fight I'm predicting. Will I bet him in this fight? Maybe. I'll have to see them face off, weigh in. I see Eryk Anders winning this fight by a decision. Can't break it down any longer. No reason to. It's not one I'm looking to bet heavy or do much with. The next fight, welterweight fight here, Bryan Battle, the Butcher, back to work. And in the UFC, after winning the Ultimate Fighter, he's been pretty good. 1 loss, Rinya Fakardinov. On the other hand, Randy Brown, another company man on the card, 34 years old. He's going to be more experienced in this fight. He's going to be older by 4 years in this fight. But he's been finished before. And Bryan Battle is a finisher, a guy that I have faith in. I've always, since day one of seeing Bryan Battle, had faith in him. And do I think the hype ends here against Randy Brown? No, I do not. No, I do not. Jack Della Maddalena, a knockout artist, submitted this guy. Yeah, he set it up with the knockout power, but Bryan Battle has knockout power too. He knocked out a guy in round 1 with a beautiful counter strike, knocked him out right away within a minute, and Takashi Sato knocked him out with a head kick in round 1 as well. The power is there for Bryan Battle to drop Randy Brown and to get another submission win. He has a lot of submissions. He has a lot of knockouts. Bryan Battle is a finisher, and the bookies are getting finished if they open the line at plus money for Bryan Battle. Finish inside the distance. I see money coming in on Randy Brown. I see people in the Discord, which is free. Hit the link in bio below if you want in Discord. Free lobby there. People are talking. A couple people like Randy Brown. I might have to say I told you so, because I almost, I was so close. I almost put big money on Bryan Battle in a lock parlay, but I'm going to wait a little bit more before I 100% make it official. But right now, I don't really see a way that Randy Brown can beat Battle. I think Battle the Butcher is much better. Much better. There's money coming in on Randy Brown. Keep it coming. Let's keep it going. Take Randy Brown. Go bet him. Super heavy. If you are going to do that, let this line go up more for me on the Bryan Battle side. And then I'll put a big bet in on Bryan Battle. Let me get a better number here. I'm pretty confident in this pick. One of the most confident picks on the card. Very, very confident he can win this fight. If you like Randy Brown, let me know in the comments below. Movsar, Evloev, Aljamain, Sterling. Sterling, former champion, but 35 years old now, new weight class. Looked pretty good in his last fight, but this is a new fight. A new fighter that he's never seen before. Undefeated. A style that he might not have ever seen before. And it's going to be tough to fight Movsar Evloev. Undefeated. Wants to win and be a champion more than anything else. And Aljamain Sterling has already been a champion. That could play a factor. He is a pretty big underdog. And you know what? I did not expect to see plus 200. So my pick is Aljamain Sterling. Low confidence. I think the line is too wide. Way too wide. But Evloev is a good fighter. Undefeated. Likely can secure the takedowns. Have better wrestling to win the fight. But Aljamain Sterling, I see a world that he can defend the takedowns. Maybe get a submission of his own. If Movsar Evloev makes a mistake. If he gets exposed. Because he's never really fought anyone with high grappling credentials with a good submission ability, in my opinion. Who has he fought? Arnold Allen? Let me pull it up. Who has he fought? Undefeated. Come on. I'm taking Aljo. I don't know who you're taking. Probably the undefeated fighter because it looks so easy. But he beat Arnold Allen. Obviously has no submission abilities comparable to Aljamain Sterling. Diego Lopez. That's a good win, but Diego's a little wild. A little crazy in there. Dan Iggy. I mean, Aljo would smash Dan Iggy. Hakeem Dawodu. A split decision to Nick Lentz in 2021. Unanimous decision, Mike Grundy. Enrique Barzola. Unanimous decision win. He cannot get a finish. Aljamain Sterling has the finishing upside. He's been a former champion. And he would not have went to a split decision with Nick Lentz. Nick Lentz? Oh, give me Aljamain Sterling plus 200. I mean, Evloev is undefeated. He's going to try to grapple fuck him. But it might not work out. That's what Aljo likes to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the championship hunger might be there for the Russian, but Aljamain Sterling, he might be hungry to get a title at featherweight. I said that about Figueiredo. It didn't work out, but fuck it. Fuck it. The hell with it. I'm taking Aljamain Sterling, the Funk Master, to win this fight. He beat up Calvin Kattar, unanimous decision. Not a bad win there. He fought Peter Yan twice. Did not look the best, but he still had cage time with him. He had a grappling victory over Chase Hooper in 2024, start of the year. He beat TJ Pillishaw by knockout, strikes from back mount, round 2. He beat Henry Cejudo, split decision that time. Not a bad win. Henry Cejudo, that's not a bad win. Submitted Corey Sandhagen, the Sandman, round 1. Yeah, I'm going Aljo. Give me Aljo. I almost named my dog Benson Aljo. But then Aljamain Sterling said, you know what? I'm going to lunge in with my hands down against Sean O'Malley and get knocked in. And the ref said, you know what? I'm going to stop this fight. I've seen enough. Aljo's about to get up. And the ref's like, yo, fucking stay down, bud. Stay down. But it was inevitable because Aljo could have continued to fight versus Peter Yan when he won the bout. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Fucking goof. Funk master. Plus 200 is going to pay, though. And to be the guy to take Aljo in a fight where Evloev has never lost, has yet to be defeated, and me to snipe that and call that out, I think that would be pretty credible. So, low confidence or not, I'll be happy with the pick. This will be a close fight. I think so. The next fight, Vicente Luque, Themba, Gorimbo, is going to be close as well. And the fight order is probably going to change because 2 underdogs are going to hit back-to-back. Give me Vicente Luque plus 200 again in this fight to be a 3-1 favorite versus a veteran, only 32 years old. Injuries or not, Vicente Luque is the better fighter. And Themba Gorimbo did not finish Nico Price in his last fight. He's had fights where he was incapable of finishing fighters as well. Ramiz Brahimaj. And those fighters aren't bad, but they're not as good as Vicente Luque. This is a step up in competition. This is another fight where the odds are mispriced. I'm pretty confident in Vicente Luque because he's lost his last fight to a guy higher level. Look at Buckley compared to Gorimbo. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, Luque is due for the win. 100%. The only guy to knock him out recently was Jeff Neal, hands of steel. He lost a unanimous decision to Belal Muhammad, the champion. Remember the name. And he lost to Wonderboy Thompson. Now, on top of all this, credible losses. No one at the level of Themba Gorimbo. But he smashed Nico Price, doctor stoppage, in round 3. The doctor had to come in. Vicente Luque is live for a finish, let alone a win at this price. Michael Chiesa, Darce choke, round 1. Tyrone Woodley, Darce choke, round 1. So this is the type of guy that also beat Randy Brown on this card in round 2 by knockout. Vicente Luque has game. His losses come to Belal Muhammad, hands of steel Jeff Neal, and Joaquin Buckley. Give me the dog. Themba Gorimbo is not, he's not great. You know what I'm saying? He is not great. He's not going to be a champion like he wants to be. He's just not. He's not that good. I don't see it. He knocked out Pete Rodriguez. 5-1, red hair dye Pete Rodriguez. Okay? This is Vicente Luque on another level. Look at the first fight, debut for Themba Gorimbo, where he got submitted to AJ Fletcher. AJ Fletcher submitted him. Guillotine choke round 2. This is an easy finish win for Vicente Luque. Cash it. We'll see you at the virtual cash counter when it hits. I'm smashing a bet on Vicente Luque money line inside the distance, and I'm fading a former lock of the week, Themba Gorimbo. It's as easy as that. Gorimbo is taking a massive step up in competition. The odds are indicating to me this is a trap. And look at AJ Fletcher right now. He's 10-5 He lost his last 3 fights. He's won 1 fight in his last 6. And he beat Themba Gorimbo. Submission. Themba should not be this big of a favorite. Not in any world. Not in any world. What a welterweight fight this is going to be. Let me tell you. Now we're getting into the main card, I would think. So, like the video. Smash the subscribe button if you're new, just tuning in, listening to these predictions. Subscribe. Help out the channel. This is the prelim headliner. And I can't believe it's not on the main card. I can't believe Vicente Luque is not on the main card, but he has to fight Themba Gorimbo, so Gorimbo is not deserving of a main card pay-per-view spot. But Evloev, Sterling, they sure are. That's crazy. This fight, Anthony Smith, Dominick Reyes, could be a co-main event if Shavkat and Ian Gary weren't fighting on this card, but what a good card it is. Prelim headliner is a banger, and I expect someone to go out with a bang. Dominick Reyes 2.0 looked incredible versus Dustin Jacoby knockout punch round 1. I expect him to get back in the win column again. He's the better fighter, went toe-to-toe with Jon Jones, as did Anthony Smith, but Smith has had more wear and tear on his body over the years. He's slowing down. He has to come up with weird excuses in his head to get motivated to fight, asking Johnny Walker why he's coming after his kids or something stupid. He's commentating with Michael Bisping, doing some stuff with ESPN and the UFC or something like that, just like Michael Chiesa. So there is a way for Smith to grease a win like he did to Ryan Spann, but I don't see it happening to Dominick Reyes, a guy that I really want to see get back in the win column, a guy that I want to see have success, because he went toe-to-toe with Jon Jones. And it's undeniable that his work ethic, his accuracy, his power can win him fights versus some of the best in this division. Anthony Smith has not proven to me that he can push on the gas. He lost to Roman Dolidze. He lost pretty well to Ryan Spann. Knocked out pretty bad to Khalil Roundtree round 3. And lost to Johnny Walker. Unanimous decision. So if this fight happens to be a decision, I think Dominick, the Dominator, Reyes, gets it done. He's just better. He's going to do more to win. And he's going to want to win that fight a lot more than Anthony Smith. Smith is 36, has had a ton of fights, has had a ton of wear and tear. He's probably comfortable where he's at in life. And Reyes knows he has a point to prove still. He's just getting back. It's Dominick Reyes 2.0. And I'm crossing my fingers he can make a go at a title shot. The Devastator, not the Dominator, is going to devastate everybody if he can do that. Get back to a title shot, make himself a contender, and after a big win to Anthony Smith, he can do just that. So the motivation's there, the accuracy and power in his striking is there, and I trust him. I'm having faith. He was an underdog against Dustin Jacoby, and I had a 10-unit bet on him as a dog. So yeah, he's made me some pretty good money recently. A little bit of bias behind the pick, but look at the odds. He's a big favorite, and that makes me think he can knock out Anthony Smith in round 1 or 2, making him a deserving and a clear, obvious pick for a title challenger, because Khalil Roundtree got a title shot and he knocked out Anthony Smith in round 3. So it seems to me that Anthony Smith is the guy that is the gatekeeper of the title shot right now. in the UFC. If you can get past Anthony Smith, you're getting yourself a very, very high-level fight or a title fight. So let's go Dominick Reyes 2.0. The Devastator is doing his damn thing. Let's go. Main card. We got Nate Landwehr, Durden Choi. This fight is a prelim fight. Two guys that are going to go toe-to-toe, quick and fast. But give me Nate the Train. He's a favorite, slight favorite in this fight, coming off a big win to Jamal Emmers, round 1 KO, where he showed he's still got the power in the hands. And a guy like Durden Choi, a guy that's been knocked out, a guy that's a little wild in the first round and second rounds, I expect him to get caught, get knocked out on a pay-per-view card where Nate Landwehr is going to show up and he's going to say, "All aboard Nate the Train." And he's getting on that mic and he's going to entertain the crowd. 3 years older, he's a much more active fighter in this fight. He's more active. I like the fact that he's active. You know, he's been fighting over the last 2-3 years. He's never really had a long layoff. And Durden Choi, there's a lot of question marks about him. If he wins, I'm sure it's going to be a knockout because Nate Landwehr can get knocked out. He can get finished. I think Julian Erosa knocked him out. So it's not out of the world that Durden Choi can win. But he's not Dong Hon Choi, the South Korean that I locked in last week. Almost the same name, but he's not as high level. So don't get tricked. Maybe he can get it done, but I just cannot jump off Nate the Train at this point in his career. 36, this is a winnable fight, and every winnable fight for Nate the Train, I'm on board. Let's go. Next up, we got Bryce Mitchell and Kron Gracie. Featherweight fight here. Kron Gracie, I mean, dude's 36. He looks like a fiend, like a crack fiend. and he showed up and got dominated to Charles Jourdain. Bryce Mitchell was handed Ilya Topuria. Tough fight. Josh Emmett, tough fight. Finished them both, but he's not getting submitted to Kron Gracie. I think he's the better wrestler, the better grappler, the better striker in this fight. I can see a world where Bryce Mitchell stays on the feet and strikes with a guy that potentially could submit him. Bryce Mitchell might go for his first ever knockout. Fiend has a feeling that Bryce Mitchell is winning by knockout. Not quite sure if he's ever won by knockout. I do not think he has. But I have the feeling because Kron Gracie is not a good striker. He's striking on a heavy bag in his fucking garage. And he's not getting it done. Bryce Mitchell gets the knockout. If not, submission win. Hopefully he is not boring and wins a decision. That would be so boring. Give me Bryce by finish. Knockout. It's probably going to be wicked plus money. And I want you to get paid. You're here to get paid. And I'm here to tell you, I want you to get paid. Bryce Mitchell at plus money by knockout when no one in the world is thinking that prop. You watch it hit. And you remember Fight Fiend Forecast. Called it. That's right. There is a high chance Bryce Mitchell can do this. He got knocked out in his last fight. You watch him get the reversal win, knockout round 1, round 2 in this fight against Kron Gracie. Kron Gracie, 5-2. 5-2. $5 underdog. Sometimes you can parlay the favorites with a blindfold on. This would be one fight. Farmer Bryce Mitchell is a favorite that is clearest day of the year. Gets it done. Too bad we're not getting a good number. That's the problem. We're not getting a very good number. But that knockout is going to be big plus money. So if you like the bet, maybe a half unit quarter unit, full unit, Bryce Mitchell, KO. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know how you think some of these fights are going to go. Let me know some of your confident picks, not confident picks. Whatever you want to let me know in the comments below, you let me know, Fight Fiend. Because I want to know what you guys are thinking and feeling on this card. We got some time to figure things out together, make money together. It is us versus the bookies. And y'all know we've been getting paid. We've been beating them up together, right? It's not just me. I have a team of Fight Fiends, forecasters in Discord, on Patreon for $5 a month that I work with and talk to each and every day on a incredible card here. Ciryl Gane and Alexander Volkov. Ciryl Gane, 12-2. He gave up a fight to John Jones. Seemed to tap pretty quick, pretty early. A fight where his emotions got the best of him. But now that he's suffered defeat, now that he's assessed his career, I think he's safe enough in this fight as a favorite to beat Volkov for the second time. Now, we talked about one fighter on the card, Dominick Reyes. It's a 2.0 version of him. This could be a Volkov 2.0. The fight could be a little bit different, but I don't see it. I think Ciryl Gane beats him up the same way. Unanimous decision win. The same way he did it just a couple years ago. Not much has changed. Other than Volkov, in his last fight, looked really good to Sergey Pavlovich. Ciryl Gane has great footwork. He has a great ability to move in and out of the pocket, side to side, in and out, up and down, wherever the fuck he wants to go. And I think he picks his shots. He's a sniper on the feet. Has wicked leg kicks to keep Volkov at bay. Teeth kicks up the middle to win the fight. Head kicks. And he can use everything he wants. In the first fight, he used the wrestling. He had takedowns, control time versus Volkov. Maybe he can use that again. I see Ciryl winning this fight pretty easily. It's a rematch fight. Not much is going to change, in my opinion. If Volkov wins, credit to him. He has been my former pick in previous fights. Made me money before. I think very highly of him. But 6'7", I'm not going to be too high on him in this fight. I think Ciryl Gane has a chance to get the knockout in this fight as well. I think he's too quick, too fast on the feet. He gets the win as a favorite. As a lock, I kind of convinced myself here to stay away on a lock pick because rematch fights can go down differently. They know each other a little bit more than other fighters on this card that are fighting for the first time. So we got to be a little careful. But Ciryl Gane should eat him up for breakfast. Third last fight of the night. Right before the welterweight fight that is between two undefeated fighters. One from Kazakhstan, Shavkat Rakhmonov, 18-0. And the other fighter being an Irish wannabe Conor McGregor here, Ian Gary. Ian Machado Gary. He took his girlfriend's last name. I gotta reassess making a pick on this one. Really, I don't. I've been locked in the whole time, as many people have been given the odds. Shavkat's the better fighter. He has a 100% finish rate, and Ian Gary wins fights by a decision. Now, some may say Ian Gary has a better cardio. It's a 5-round fight. Round 4, round 5, he will be fine. But he has to survive. That's the problem. He has to survive round 1, 2, and 3 to get to round 4 and 5 to prove he has a better cardio. I don't see that happening. I really don't. Ian Gary is a guy that is a point fighter versus a guy that is a brawler, likes to finish, crash the pocket, get a knockout punch, set up a beautiful spinning head kick potentially, get fights to the ground, and get submission wins. 100% finish rate indicates he does not like taking fights to a decision, and being a born-ass fighter, Shavkat Rakhmonov would have been a great fight with Bilal Muhammad. Maybe we would be looking at the new, soon-to-be champion, Shavkat. But in this fight, you got to think he is a better fighter. He's going to want it more. They have trained together at Killcliff. And I heard word, Ian Gary got hurt training with Shavkat. And that's the truth. Rumors or not, if that is a rumor, it could be true. Because they did train before. And I have already seen one video of Ian Gary admitting that he has more respect for Shavkat than Shavkat has for him. Indicating that, yeah, he's probably been hurt before to Shavkat, and Shavkat does not fear his power. And why would he? His knockout power is not there, in my opinion. It's not there. He's not a big finisher. If he was, he would have knocked out one of his last opponents, but he couldn't do that. So, knocked out Daniel Rodriguez, beautiful head kick that has potential in this fight. Shavkat could get caught. It's a fist fight. Ian Gary might be looking for a head kick in this fight. He's going to be searching for something. He's going to be reaching, that's for sure. But when he's reaching, I expect him to get countered and finished to a guy with a 100% finish rate, 18-0 undefeated, looking like a monster. But credit to Ian Gary. He is 15-0. He is a very good point fighter, but I don't think that's going to pay out in this fight. And it's going to pay dividends on his career. He's not getting the next title shot. Shavkat Rakhmonov, Nomad. Now we got a fight where I don't think makes sense. I'm going to start it off saying Pantoja and still to retain the belt versus a guy, Kai Asakura, in his last fight got taken down, almost submitted to a much lower level fighter. A guy with good experience. It was a good win. He came back, got the knockout finish in round 2. But there is a point where you're like watching tape and you see him get taken down somewhat easy. He's kind of just slugging away on the feet, not overly composed. And I think a guy that is the champion, has been here before, has fought the who's who, is going to be more composed, more accurate, and be able to get those takedowns, lead to a submission. I mean, Asakura, he almost got submitted early in round 1 in his last fight. It wasn't a great situation on the ground, although he got out of it. A guy like Pantoja, it's going to be very hard to get out of danger once you're in danger. So Pantoja, and still very high confidence. Kai Asakura, the question might be, do you think he's deserving of a title shot? Well, you look at the division, he's probably deserving because there's no one really for Pantoja to fight. Pantoja wants to be active. He wants new blood. So you give him someone as a champion in another promotion that you know Pantoja can beat. You set it up. It gets a bunch of views, bunch of pay-per-view buys. People want to see what this new guy's all about, see if the upset could occur in a debut fight, but chances of that are very low. There's like a 4% chance Asakura wins this fight. And that is what I see happening. If you see something different, that's great. He is the younger fighter. He has broke someone's jaw before, but you got to think, you got to look at doing your research as well, that the guy he did knock out was submitted in round 1 to Pantoja. Asakura has never fought someone like Brandon Moreno, Brandon Royval. So give Pantoja credit. He's probably getting you paid as a favorite. He's not too big of a favorite, I don't think. I see some pretty wide favorites, like Bryce Mitchell, Chase Hooper, Kennedy Nzechukwu, Shavkat Rakhmonov. He's a pretty big favorite. I would think Pantoja could be a 4-1, 5-1 favorite. And he's sitting at a 3-1 favorite. Odds could change, but I'm very, very confident Pantoja wins. and still, he's better everywhere, well-rounded, more experienced, and hungry to remain the champion of the UFC. The rising champion who's fought lower-level competition has a 4% chance to get the knockout punch. It's his only path to victory, given the fact that he has not many, less than 3 submission wins on the record. He's never been submitted, and he has a lot of knockouts. One path to victory for the dog. It's a knockout. It's a 4% chance, and it's very, very, very unlikely. Pantoja, inside the distance, and still, baby. Last pay-per-view of the year. Let's get paid. A lot of these big fights are going to pay big rewards if you're on the right side, but it comes down to who you are listening to on YouTube. So please let your friends know Fight Fiend Forecast has been working hard. The views have been low, but we are bound to get some traction. We're about to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I can't thank you enough. So if you want free money, let's get to 1,000 subscribers, and I will set up a giveaway bot in my free Discord. Hit the link in bio below if you want in Discord for free. Hit the link if you also want my Patreon bets, all sport bets in Patreon, $5 a month. Each and every pick for UFC 310 was posted a couple days ago. The PFL 2024 playoffs, not the playoffs, the championships in Saudi Arabia. Those picks and bets are in Patreon for $5 a month. I will have basketball, football bets in Discord, in Patreon. Discord's free. Patreon is $5 a month. What are you doing if you're not a platinum forecaster, or at least, bare minimum, a forecaster? Hit the links in bio below. Let's get paid together. It's us against the bookies, and y'all know we're going to beat them up.